Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Carter Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tucker Jr. And look, the Wizards took on the Cavs tonight. Donovan Mitchell takes over late to lead the Cavs past the Wizards 114-106. The man would finish with 40 points. I think the Wizards are really competitive in this one, but I think some of the things that have doomed them for most of the year showed up. You saw flashes of really good coups, and then you saw some moments where bad shot selection damned them at times. It was a very rough night for Jordan Poole. The crowd really let him have it. Um, it was a good night from Tyus Jones. Another good night from Gaff. But again, the thing when they play better teams, those things that they've had issues with the whole year, they rear that it's going to rear its head at some time in the game. It's almost like it's a matter of when, right? But I want to get you guys' take on it. Cardell, we'll start with you and then Ray.
Yeah, for me, the difference in the game is Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Like, just straight up, man. Like, I keep saying it, man. When the Wizards compete, they're close with any team when they compete, which has been rare this season, obviously, as you look at their record, which is now 9-41. They're close. It's in the fourth quarter. Then it comes down, that's star time. Who always has the better stars? And that's how I determine who's usually going to probably end up winning that game. And if it's a star tandem, let's say if it's the Mavericks with Kyrie and Luka versus Booker, Bill, KD, then obviously it's going to be the stars that play better because they canceling each other out, so to speak. In this game, the best player on the floor was Donovan Mitchell, and he played like it. He's the all-star. He's the all-NBA caliber player. He's a guy, MVP candidate year in, year out. And you saw in the fourth quarter, the game was close. Down the stretch, he went to work, and they couldn't stop him. Nobody could. And you just brought up Jordan Poole. He took it to Jordan Poole. That's why when you are not known as a defender, and you got a killer on the other side that knows that, and he brings it to you, his offense becomes his defense because he got you on your heels. And now you start pressing and stuff like that, you already struggling offensively, and then it's just a free fall. It's just a downfall for your game and your confidence, and that's what you saw. He dominated his matchup, 48-5 on 14-25. Poole 0 and 5 assists, 6 fouls. They lost 114-106. That's the game right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's literally the game. Because Gafford showed up 14-13. You know what I'm saying? He outplayed Jared Allen. He won his matchup. Now, Evan Mobley got off. He made it, but Kuzma had 28. So they canceled each other out. You go to the other matchup. You see Strus, 1 for 5, 2 points, whatever. But then it wasn't just Strus. He got to deal with Wade and Isaac Okoro. You see what I'm saying? So he had a rough night shooting the ball, but he found other ways to contribute with his 8 rebounds and 3 assists or whatnot. Then Kispert had a monster game off the bench. You know what I'm saying? He really gave him the boost, and they needed Jordan Poole, another one. But, Darius Garland, rusty Darius Garland got him in his matchup. It's just it comes down to the matchups when it's a close game. And the Cavs, they're in their matchups and their key matchups, they won. You know what I'm saying? And then they had one big convincingly, one, you know what I'm saying, that it's just nothing it's nothing they can say. It's just, you just shake your head at it. It's like, damn. You see what I'm saying? It was a thorough ass whooping. You see what I'm saying? That's the game. And we can keep going. We can go on like bench points, you know what I'm saying? Like the points in the paint, like Cavs had 54-42 over the Wizards, man. Bench points, the Washington actually won that 40-25. Points on turnover, Washington won that 19-14. They did a lot of good, but when it came down to winning time, they could not stop Donovan Mitchell. And that's the difference in the game for me.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. Now that's Poole got to be better, plain and simple. I mean, that's just unacceptable, man. Yeah, I get it. Donovan Mitchell, he's an all-star for a reason. He's in the all NBA conversation for a reason. All his accolades are well deserved, but like you got to do better than 0 points, 5 assists, and fouling out. Like in a game this close, I mean, it was tied coming out the half, and then they came out and held the Cavs to 23 points in the third. Only problem is they scored 22 in the third. It's like they can never get things to line up. If they defend and then their offense is not going to be up to par. So it doesn't matter if they're scoring, then they're not defending. So they just constantly working against themselves. And yeah, like Cardell said, man, it's reflective in their record. So yeah, it's just a comedy of errors at this point. Kuz come out, had a good game, 28 points. Like you pointed out, Gaff, all those guys contributed. It's just that that big gaping hole at the Jordan Poole spot. And in the game you lose by 8, to a team that's playing really well at the moment. Like that just goes to show it's just the little things, man. They were right there with a team on a 7-game winning streak, and they weren't far from pulling this game out. It was just little pockets and moments that caused them to lose. And like we always say, their margin of error is super slim. So to have a big hole that Jordan, like the one Jordan Poole gave them tonight, is no chance they win. With the starter scoring 0 points. Kuz, he had the explosive game, but Donovan Mitchell outscored the other 4 starters by himself. He can't win basketball games like that. And yeah, that Poole definitely should be embarrassed after this.
Just want to thank Cardell. You've been saying it for years, right? The past couple of years, you can't defend your position. What's it called? It affects everybody. You saw it wasn't just Donovan Mitchell at times. Like, the Wizards try to deploy Koulibaly on Mitchell at different times here and there, but Donovan, he's been in the league a little while. I was like, why would I deal with you? Come get this screen.
Take my time. Get the matchup I want.
Give me the food that I want and let me go on about my business. And it wasn't just him. We saw Okoro do it. The fact that several members of the Cavaliers was like, get young boy up off me. I want that. That's a horrible look. And again, this is something you've been saying for a while, and it hurts. You cannot win like that. And we know it gets taken to a higher level in postseason and whatnot, but good teams, they're going to find the guy. And if there's multiple guys, then it's the guys. They're going to pick on you until it ends. It just is what it is. I would bring up player of the game, but I think we already know who it is. You guys have already praised him several times. So X Factor for the night, who you guys have?
Evan Mobley, 22 and 8, 9 and 10. Sheesh, and that's another thing. Even going back to Donovan Mitchell, you can't let nobody shoot 56% from the field, 50% from 3. It was pregame shooting around. That's what it was for him. But yeah, Evan Mobley for sure, 90% from the 90% from the field, 2-2 from 3-point range, 2-2 from the free throw line. My man shot 90, 100, and 100. Man, God.
And the worst part is the shot that he missed wasn't a 3, as you mentioned. It was a bunny, and then he rebounded his bunny and put it back. Ray, your takeaways.
Yeah, I agree with Mobley. Because with the kind of game Kuz was having, he needed to at least come close to that production, and he did. Like, it wouldn't have been shocking to me if Evan Mobley had 13 points tonight. If he has 13, they lose his game. So, he did his part. He complimented Donovan, and and the Cavs got up out of here with a win.
As always, we'll get to some of these comments before we get out of here. We appreciate you guys hopping in the conversation to do so game after game, especially in a year like this. Our Area 11T with the tinfoil hat on off the early. I'll read a couple of these until he gets to the end of his point. It's officially, he prefaced it by saying, going in conspiracy mode here. Convenient that when the trade seems unlikely, Kuzma magically remembers how to hoop. I think he purposely sabotaged his trade value after the rumor started of him being on the trade block, which is exactly when he started to play worse. I got a bold prediction that after deadline, if Kuzma isn't moved, he will go back to scoring 20 plus points a game again, like he did to start the season. So, what do y'all have to think about, say, about Area 11 teams, conspiracy theory?
Well, one, Kyle Kuzma was averaging 26 and 4, so he didn't forget how to hoop. 45% from the field. He's had a pretty, for what it's worth, good individual season. He's actually been one of the few bright spots on this team. You know what I mean? Like, he may not have proven himself to be like a guy, I guess, a franchise guy. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, look at their record. But he definitely has proven like he's good enough to help a contender. Well, he has had to help the contender before. So he's been proving that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say he forgot how to hoop or like the trade thing got to him or something like that. He's been in the league a little while. I just think he had bad games. It happens. It's a long season. He's frustrated. Ran into some buzz. Think. There's no way you can experience losing 41 damn games unless you're in the league. That's the only way you know how that feels. And then if you're in the league, you do not want to know how that feels. You do you're doing everything you're not expecting to lose 41 games, man. It's just it's impossible. So ain't no telling what they could do to anybody's psyche. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, especially when you feel like you're giving your all, and you're still losing, man. And it's just a mess right now. You know what I mean? But the trade deadline, I don't think it bothered him. I think he probably one of those. He seems to me to be super confident, where he feel like no matter what team he's on, he gonna do him. That's just the vibe I get from him, which you should always have. Regardless if he gets 20 points a game, he's already averaging more than that this season anyway. The season ain't over, man. They gotta figure out a way to win these games. This was a winnable game, and it came down to stops. Just slowing down Donovan Mitchell, and you win this game. And obviously they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And they on the hot streak. They're talking about the Cavs, and it just shows the difference, man. Like a team that's hot, that's in sync, they didn't play their way out of a win, which they could have easily done. Like Wilson said, they took their time, they identified the weak links, and went to work. It didn't complicate things, man. I heard a quote from Mike Conley the other day where he said sometimes just doing a simple thing, just staying with it is the best thing for your team. Just doing a simple thing over and over again. Don't complicate it, and it usually works out. But how everybody want to be geniuses these days and overthinking, man. It is what it is. And I think that that's what this era is missing mostly compared to old eras. You see what I'm saying? Like what you saw Donovan Mitchell on, that was on the regular one we saw growing up. If a big man couldn't guard Shaq, guess what? The ball going into Shaq every time. We're not gonna complicate this until they double or figure it out or do something else and make us have to adjust to them. If they don't adjust, big fella gonna go for 60 and we're gonna get this easy W. So that's basically all you say.
Hey man, sometimes 1 + 1 is 2. I know it sounds crazy. Sometimes that's simple. Shout out to the folks watching my IG, both Wayne Rat 80 and Sugar Free 5. Wayne Rat 80 said no defense tonight. Yeah, it's been a theme.
And no defense any night.
And then last comment we had Air 11 also Poole playing more minutes in the fourth than Denny at this point is dumb.
That's just the coach trying to salvage his confidence. He got destroyed tonight, man. He trying to do him a solid because they got another game coming up, and he got to deal with Maxey. And right now, Philly's getting embarrassed right now by the Warriors, so they're gonna probably come in here and kill mode. So he's just trying to salvage his confidence. When you get outplayed 40-0, yeah, in your building.
Not to mention the Boo Birds started in the second quarter. And they came out periodically for the rest of the game. It was a rough night for them. Very rough night. And fans were letting it have it. I didn't tweet some of the stuff that was said. Man, it's a rough night. I know y'all don't care, but he was down bad in it, man.
But I guarantee you, Keith, the coach, don't give a shit about what y'all thinking either. You gotta do what's best for the team. So there you have it.
Because you can't, if he's going to be here, you can't fully lose him. It is what it is. You can't fully lose him. No matter what happens this season, you can't fully lose him.
They already down 10 when the game starts anyway. If you lose him, it can get worse.
But again, as Cardell said earlier, Ray mentioned, the themes have continued, and I think almost like the past few games, Cardell, you can more say like the best two players on the floor happen to be on the other side, which means if that's going to continually be a thing, you have to take care of those little things Mike Conley's talking about. And this group has failed to take care of those little things and do them time and time again.
No room for error. They don't have no room for error.
Like Ray said, it's the slimmest of margins. So sometimes, a bad shot from them is like 3 turnovers. A turnover for them is like 6 points. Like that's how it swings for them at times. It's not the same as if you're one of the other teams. Cardell mentioned, where you turn it over in the back. We'll get the back. Literally, we'll get that back in blood in 2 possessions. It's not a problem. This don't have that luxury. It is what it is. They got a couple days off. We'll see you guys Saturday night. They take on Philly, as Cardell mentioned. Was getting hands put on them. So I'm sure they want to try to return that favor to this team from Saturday. And we'll see you guys then. Y'all have a great night.